Most people start their financial lives by trading their time directly for money. It's the simple math of the hourly wage. You provide 1 hour of labor, and you receive 1 paycheck in return. This equation has a hard biological limit. Because there are only 24 hours in a day, your ability to earn is capped by your physical stamina and the finite amount of time you can actually sell. High earners bypass this ceiling by creating value that isn't tied to an hourly rate. Steve Jobs didn't build a fortune by working more hours than a burger flipper. He created the iPhone, a product so valuable that millions of people were willing to pay thousands of dollars for it. If your income relies entirely on your physical presence and your limited hours, your lifetime potential wealth is trapped under a strict, unbreakable ceiling. Many assume that taking those wages and locking them in a bank account or a shoebox keeps the value perfectly preserved. Stagnant money is subject to a quiet erosion called inflation. It slowly consumes the purchasing power of your assets, meaning a $5 bill today will buy less gasoline or food than a year ago. This chart shows how $10,000 loses its edge over a decade. As the cost of goods and services rises, the real-world value of that fixed cash balance shrinks, forcing you to pay more for the same lifestyle. Storing money without a growth mechanism is a guaranteed mathematical loss. You are racing against a clock that requires your capital to outpace its own decay. To fight back, you have to understand interest as the price of using money. It is essentially rent charged for the privilege of having someone else's cash in your hands. When you invest, you become the landlord. You stop paying that rent and start collecting it, acting as the matchmaker for financial transactions that put your money to work. Simple interest is the basic version of this reward, a flat, predictable fee added to your balance. It's a static bonus for being patient with your capital. Collecting simple rent is a start, but linear addition moves too slowly to create significant, life-changing scale. True growth requires compound interest, a system where your money duplicates itself. In this cycle, the rent you earn begins demanding its own rent. We can see this mechanic with a $100 investment. At a 7% annual return, year 1 generates $7 new that sit on top of your original principal. In year 2, that interest is added to your baseline. You aren't just earning 7% on your original $100 anymore. You are earning it on the new, larger total. Your earned interest has become a new source of growth. By year 30, the growth has accelerated into a steep curve. The interest earned in the final years now dwarfs the original $100 you started with, multiplying your wealth without any new labor on your part. This compounding engine is the only way to mathematically detach your net worth from the hours you spend working. The most critical variable in this entire equation is time. Wealth isn't built in days or months, because the most explosive multiplication happens at the very end of the curve. It requires decades of uninterrupted growth to reach its full potential. Because time is the primary fuel for this multiplication, starting early with a small amount is far more effective than trying to catch up with a large sum later in life. You only have so much time to work, and inflation is constantly eroding the value of the money you save. Investing is the practical tool for solving this. By purchasing stocks, ownership slices of companies, or real estate, you are feeding your money into the compounding engine. Many people hesitate because of the risk of recessions or market volatility, preferring the perceived safety of a bank account. However, short-term market fluctuations eventually pass, while the destruction of uninvested money by inflation is a permanent loss. Opting out of the market to avoid volatility guarantees that your savings will never participate in the exponential growth required to stay ahead of the rising cost of living. Compound interest acts as a tireless employee. It works 24 hours a day, requires no wages, and never takes a break. To use this system, you simply have to feed this employee through regular, consistent investments and give it the decades of time it needs to scale. While our $100 examples showed the mechanic, applying that same 7% return to a steady contribution from every paycheck creates a compounding snowball. Over 30 years, that consistency turns a modest salary into $1 million retirement fund. You don't have to beat the system with luck or an extreme salary. You simply have to follow the rules of the math. Start early and let time do the heavy lifting.